Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. We are here again for day 2 of the East Coasters meetup here at Hersheypark for American coaster enthusiasts. Today is more of an interesting video. We're going to be talking to a lot of Hersheypark reps, a lot of coaster manufacturers. They're going to be doing a ton of presentations, showing off what they have going on for this year and possibly next year. Maybe we'll get some inside scoop on what could be coming to Dorney. We'll see, but I'm super excited for today. There's also, I think, silent auctions and a ton of other vendors that are going to be available for us to look at their stuff. It's going to be really fun today, but first we got to check in, so let's head in. But before we do that, please make sure that you are subscribed, have the bell notifications turned on to get notified whenever I post a video, and also make sure you're following me on Instagram and Twitter. The links are down in the description below. Now let's head in. The signs lead the way. Good morning, Fahrenheit. Good morning, Storm Runner. Alright, we have made it to the Music Box Theater. This is where check-in is, and this is where most of the event will be taking place. What a great view this morning. You can see Great Bear over there, you can see Sky Rush. Let's head in though. Alright, we are all checked in. We got a little pamphlet talking about Wildcats Revenge. Pretty cool. We got our lanyard. And we got an East Coasters 2023 little button. And presentations start in 15 minutes, so let's go check out some vendors while we have a little bit of time. We have a ton of old cups and bags and lanyards here. This one over here caught my eye. The Beast 10th anniversary. Wow. That's an old one. And there's also a ton of t-shirts over here. Let's see if I can find anything really interesting. Here's a bunch of old attraction parts and everything on this table. We have a Kingdom Coaster side panel. We have a Maury's Pier Wild Mouse wheel. Oh, this is something I want, man. Look at that piece of old wood from Wildcat. That is awesome. A bunch of other stuff up here. Stuff from Dorney Park, Kaleidoscope banner, Steel Force banner. Definitely want one of those to a Talon banner. There's some pretty cool stuff up here. Whoa, look at that. Alfundo. I'm rocking my Alfundo shirt today. Look at all this stuff, man.
I appreciate the
Oh, man. A Phoenix little Coaster Dynamics Nano coaster. A hard hat from, let's see, CoasterCon 43. Look at all this different stuff, man. Ooh, Cedar Flyers. Ooh, a Thunderhawk banner. I'm just getting surprised at every turn, man, with some of this stuff. Ooh, I believe that is a Phoenix car. Oh no, it's Comet. Piece of Phoenix, that would be awesome to get. There's a ton of stuff here, man. But I think we should go find our seats because we got 5 minutes.
I'm sorry that we couldn't arrange warmer weather for you yesterday, but we were so glad to give you a sneak peek at Wildcats Revenge, which we are so excited about. So as you guys know, probably better than we do, this will be our first hybrid here at Hersheypark and the first RMC here in Pennsylvania. But before we talk all the exciting things we have for this year, quick show of hands, how many of you visited us in 2022? Thank you so much. It is because of you that we had one of our biggest years ever. So just wanted to reflect on some of our top 5 moments. Thanks to our Ace Coaster members, as well as those of you who are our beloved season pass holders. And I know I see a few of you here in this room. What we are adding to the park for next year. Sorry, for this year. I'm like Derek, I still don't know what year I'm in. So if you didn't see our announcement earlier this week, we are excited to offer you more operating days than ever before at Hersheypark. It's our 117th season. So if you've been anxious to get back to coaster riding, we'd love to see you back here on opening day, which is April 1st. Hopefully it's a little warmer than it is today. So we're so excited to be able to offer more weekends, the Fridays. So for the first time, we are going to be open every single weekend from April 1st through January 1st of 2024. Yes! Our ops team is like, yay! But we are really excited to be able to offer you all of those experiences as well. So it's also the 40th anniversary of Christmas Candy Lane this year, which we're really excited about. So start in the spring and come on back and come and see us and our reindeer and Santa and all of our light shows then as well. So a few other things that we're excited about. I cannot believe that it has been since we were gearing up to open Chocolatetown, since we had the pleasure of having you all here. And so that region is so important to us as a company because it was our largest investment ever, but it really tells the story of our founder, Milton Hershey, and how he loved to bring people together for fun and happiness and, of course, chocolate. So if you haven't spent some time in that space recently, we'd love for you to take a look at it. Our core purpose continues to drive everything we do. And so it's really important for us that even as we continue to add new things, we are honoring our history and his legacy. So thank you for being a part of that. And we're also a park that focuses on some of our ride anniversaries. The Wildcat was the first roller coaster we ever had here, purchased by Mr. Hershey himself in 1923. It was added to the park. And of course, it was constructed by none other than the Philadelphia Toboggan Company. Yes. And I would also be remiss if I didn't pause to acknowledge that we were so honored to have the first coaster ever constructed by GCI in our park from 1996 to 2022. So how lucky are we here in Pennsylvania to have both of those iconic ride manufacturers? And so again, what I said earlier, we honor our history by bringing it back, and that's exactly what we're doing with Wildcat's Revenge. So 100 years after the first Wildcat joined the lineup here at Hersheypark, it will be back, but it's exacting revenge, and that's how we came up with the name. So before you ask, we don't know when it will open yet. Summer. Summer is all we're allowed to say. But we're really excited about some of the history. So just wanted to give you a sense of that as we get started today. And then if you were brave enough to come out with us on the tour yesterday, you got to see how the coaster station is coming together. You may not realize that the design is actually going back to what it looked like in 1923. So the low gable pitches there, and of course the red roof.
So as you saw in the video, riders will experience the very best of both wood and steel with this coaster. And we wanted to share this slide with you just to give you an example of what the previous Wildcat had to offer and what Wildcat's Revenge will offer. So as you can see, the height is going to be over 50 feet taller than the 1996 Wildcat. It will be faster and longer in track length. The ride time is actually over double, which is really exciting. And of course, 4 inversions, which we know everyone is really excited about, myself included. And then 3 custom trains, which we'll get into in a little bit. And this photo here, which I know many of you were out at the construction site, I'll actually be showing some construction photos shortly, is of our world's largest underflip. And this is a one-of-a-kind RMC inversion. It begins with an upward climb, followed by a counterclockwise 270-degree roll and a dive down toward the side. And it is the tallest underflip ever fabricated by RMC and the longest one measured by track length. So just looking at this photo, by a raise of hands, how many people are excited to experience this? Love it. But instead of just one of RMC's signature thrills, we have all 4. So some parks have 1 or 2. We decided to go with all 4 of the thrills here. So of course, the world's largest underflip, which I had just mentioned. We have an inverted stall, a 0G roll, and a reversing downhill roll. And this is a photo here, a render of part of the world's largest underflip. Little sound effects there. So this ride will be open to guests of a Hershey's height category, so it's 48 inches or taller. One of the things we're really excited about with this coaster is we will be offering 3 custom trains. So in November, we had unveiled this train design at IAAPA. And what I think is really cool is the design inspiration that went into the images that you see up here. So we really took the idea of having a Wildcat exacting revenge on the wooden predecessor, on the original Wildcat, and you can see this in the custom theme of the trains. And the thematic elements are a design first for Hersheypark. So that's something that we're really excited to offer our guests this coming year. So, as everyone has seen, construction's already in full swing here with the coaster. I'm going to take you through a little bit of some of the construction updates. I'll let you know there are some photos in here that we did not share publicly on social media, just to give you a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look. So in November, our red steel track was delivered, and we placed the first piece of track on top of the wooden structure. So that is what you see here. And these photos we did share on our social media channels. The next two here are behind the scenes ones that we did not post. As you can see, the one on the right-hand side is the start of the world's largest underflip. So the bottom where the red track is, that will then come up and make the roll. And here is another behind-the-scenes photo, actually two behind-the-scenes photos that we did not share of the world's largest underflip construction. There's about 30 RMC team members on site. They're incredible. They work through all different types of weather elements, so you can see some of them here in the bottom of the photo.
Third generation owner DJ Deno Vidoris from Deno's Wonder Wheel Park.
1, 2. Oh, look at this. I didn't know we had 1.3 acres. We have that much? I don't know. We were drinking. Maybe it was 5. Thanks for having me. I mean, I can't believe I'm here with all of you and all these great parks, even though we only have 1.3 acres, if that much. Like the small park. But before I say anything, the most important thing that I want to say is thank you to all of you, to all the other parks here. I'm honored to be here. I feel like I'm hanging out with a bunch of friends. ACE and people like you give us, the parks, like a will to do what we do. You know, you give us feedback, you give us support, and without that support, work would not be so much fun. So I'm gonna talk today. I'll talk about whatever you guys want me to talk about. I'm gonna just try to breeze through this quickly. It's about like, hey, how do you build a coaster? Because I didn't know how to build a coaster. I don't know what I'm doing. A lot of YouTube videos, but I honestly, how we started this whole process is I asked you guys, you know, you go to the authority, like, I went on the subreddit for roller coasters and said, hey, if you had a Ferris wheel that had swinging cars and like half an acre of land, what would you put there? Anyway, so that's how this all started. So thanks, you guys built this with me. It's your fault, not mine. So what we did is we hit IAPA hard in 2018. And I took all our measurements. This is the newly acquired land that we hadn't purchased yet, but we ended up purchasing during the pandemic. But this is what we were thinking about purchasing. I came with this CAD file to IAPA. I said, hey, ride manufacturers, what can you build here? So first, because obviously you guys recommended RMC first. Should have known that. But it actually worked out pretty well because we had 265 feet here. Our lot was we had 265 feet on our lot. The RMC Raptor was 263 feet. So it was like a perfect fit. It was like God sent it to us. So I have to thank Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. We went over there, we rode Wonder Woman, we talked to their maintenance staff. They were awesome. Jeffrey was awesome, which I'm sure you all know. But anyway, long story short, we had this planned walkway that the city of New York insisted, even though we own the land, they insisted on this walkway as part of their plan. So we couldn't really get it to fit. So that one didn't work out. Then we went to Vekoma. Vekoma had the off-the-shelf SFC. It would have required a lot of maneuvering, but we were able to shoehorn it into the space. But again, planned walkway didn't work out. We went with a custom Vekoma. Here was one option. I'm going to show you. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you guys this stuff. I think we signed NDAs. It's all right. But anyway, we ended up being able to fix I wasn't here. I don't know where you found this stuff. But we ended up, this design was great, but New York City's weird. We had to go over technically two different lots. It could have been done, but it would have required years of whatever, so we're like, oh, we don't want to go through that. So, here's another cool thing that I'm not supposed to show you. We were thinking about a boomerang. So this is a family boomerang, and we were going to theme it after the New York City subway. Again, it would have worked with the planned walkway here, and we were going to put a subway car sticking out here. And as it went up the second spike, this subway car would have been on like animatronics. It would have went like beep the horn, and you have the near miss. It would have been really cool. So I actually did a No Limits video, sent it to Vekoma. They got excited about it, and they sent us this rendering like, hey, look, it works. You should do it. But long story short, like, after talking to all of you, your fault again, we went with the SFC. So we found a design, we tightened the turns, and we actually had a lot of back and forth. These turns ended up getting a little tighter than they actually are in this rendering. But this is our coaster right there. So that's the fake Phoenix, because there's only one real Phoenix in Knoebels. All right. But we named it the Phoenix because New York City didn't want any building during COVID. But we said, well, this is the Phoenix. It symbolizes rebirth. And, you know, we got all the politicians around that idea, and then they ended up letting us build it. But it worked.
All right, so we have a quick break here, 15-minute break after our first two presentations, and the actual silent auctions are open, so we're going to see what stuff's worth right now.
Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate this community embracing me. I'm really new to the industry. I started at Dorney Park February of last year, and I'm just kind of been getting my feet wet. I got to thank Mike, too. He's been great with me and been a good partner. We're already planning out your event for May, clowning around because everybody loves Alfundo, right? Alfundo's not creepy at all. Not at all. Raise your hand if you made it out to Dorney Park last year. Woo. Thank you. We really appreciate it. So I am going to start with a video. So a lot of folks who know me closely know that I love videography and I love doing drone shoots and POVs. That is my jam. So I have a couple videos in here. But this is a drone shoot that we did recently. Just something that I thought you guys would enjoy. Do you want me to sing along to it, Nate? There's some cool ditties, Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom back in the early 90s. It's like 2 parks, 1 price, and it's all about Wildwater Kingdom. Who's a big fan of Hydra? It's like a lot of Hydra fans. I like it. It's very inaudible. That's okay, they get the point. You guys love Dorney Park, right? It is our 140th season, believe it or not. So our 140th operating season. We're not going to go big because we just know we're going to be around for 150, and we're going all out for that. So what's the buzz? What do you guys want to talk about today? I already know. So I'm going to tell you that I am going to perform what I call the art of telling you nothing while talking about nothing. Wink emoji, right? So there is something going on. Reverend Cliff Herring already got me on a cue. You might as well be up here. It's our biggest fan, and I love Cliff, so round of applause for Cliff. Our first ever season pass holder, and when I started at the park, Cliff was adamant that he came to meet me, and we had a great time together walking around Thunderhawk, and I love seeing Cliff every time. We have good chats. As I said, the buzz for this year, coaster news. The big coaster news is that Thunderhawk was constructed in 1923. I do have something at the end for you, however. It's not going to be as exciting as maybe you think it is right now. We have exciting events lined up for 2023. Big fan of Grand Carnival. I sweat a lot in July when we have that event. Last year was 16 days long. We're planning to have the same stretch this year. It's going to start July 22nd. We're going to have our July 4th fireworks, which shoot off behind Possessed. And we have our food truck rally set for August. Love Halloween Haunt. I don't know if anybody made it out to Halloween Haunt this year, but we had some new entertainment this year. We had some new attractions and zones. It's a vibe, as we like to say. It's amazing, and we're looking forward to doing that in the fall too. There might be some changes. Wink. What's happening at Dorney Park? I got the question mark outside the wave. That's not great. So we're doing a lot of maintenance at Dorney Park. That's probably a video there. But hiring week is this week, so if you see me kind of scatterbrained, we've got a rehire event today. We've got about 1,000 people coming in. A lot of them are high school and college age. We want to get them in here. Thunderhawk, you might have seen some photos on social media. We're doing track maintenance right now. The carousel horses are being repainted by hand. That's always really exciting. We've got some big dining upgrades and improvements that we're working on for 2023, and we're preparing for future projects. No comment. Oh, all right. Oh, so I guess everybody's seen it. It's just a bathroom. It is swear it's a 162-footish tall bathroom. I'm sorry, I don't know Christopher, but I loved his comment there. He's gonna do it at 161 feet in the air. Yeah, so I know you've all seen this. I'm not an idiot. I'm told not to talk about it, but I know who I'm talking to, so I think we can kind of address the clown in the room. That's me, but we can also address the elephant in the room. So, yeah, there are plans, and the corporate line from me is we're always excited, and we're always trying to find ways to improve the experience at Dorney Park in Wildwater Kingdom. We've been here for generations, and will continue to be. We are committed to the Lehigh Valley and providing immersive experiences. That being said, we cannot talk about what could potentially happen in 2024. That was my bid. When we talked about making a major investment, I said I wanted Al Fundo in that empty Stinger lot. Mike Fainel, our old general manager, a lot of you know Mike, agreed that would have been a great idea. Some other ideas there, of course, the porta potty, 160 foot tall. And this has been the running joke for Dorney Park, we're gonna RMC a park bench. Yeah, we put a lot of those in every year. Actually, last year, one of the biggest things was we upgraded all our trash cans. Super exciting. I asked if I should put that on social media, and they said, please don't do that. I love Al Fundo. Running joke there is Cedar Fair. Not the biggest fans of Al Fundo, so I just continue to do the Al Fundo thing on social media.
Hypothetically, if you're going to build a churro stand, would you build it out of wood or steel?
See what you did there. Well, I would love to just build a churro stand out of churros. I mean, that'd be very exciting. Oh man, no comment. No comment. I will just say that we have something that is wooden at our park that we love, and we will not, anytime soon, be RMCing Thunderhawk. So quit asking. We're not doing it. It's not happening. Hercules, on the other hand, I guess you guys would have a question about that, and I would just say that I don't know.
Our next presenter is fairly new to the organization that he works for, but the organization has been around for quite some time. And to let you know on all the great things they're doing at Great Coasters International is one of their engineers, Nathan Bonowitz.
Thank you. Well, I'm Nathan Bonowitz. As was mentioned, I'm fairly new with Great Coasters. I've been there for 4 weeks now. So that being said, there might be a lot of no comments. But I'll try to answer questions as best as I can at the end of the presentation. Our first coaster was Wildcat here at Hersheypark, which has seen its fair ridership and is currently being worked on by RMC. We have built 30 coasters since 1996, located all over the world. A couple of our recent coasters that you may have seen are Roaring Timbers in Vietnam, which we believe to be one of our most picturesque roller coasters. Unfortunately, it's going to be pretty hard to get there for most enthusiasts, considering it's located in a fishing village on an island off the coast. So for enthusiasts like you and me, it's definitely a tough credit to get. What we do, we are in the business of building thrilling wooden coasters with twister layouts. We pride ourselves on our smooth layouts. As that being said, our first innovation in the industry were our Millennium Flyer trains. They came out a couple years down the line. I think it was around the new millennium. Yeah, that makes sense. You can tell I'm nervous. Okay, and then our most recent innovations are our Infinity Flyer trains and our Titan track, which I'm sure everybody in this room has heard about at this point. So, the projects that we are currently working on in the United States, we are working with Arnold's Park to repair the Legend. We're currently on our last repair of that ride. We have rebuilt most of the structure and track over the past several years, and we have rebuilt their first drop. Our largest project for this year, which will be opening hopefully sometime spring 2023, is the Zambezi Zinger. We have worked with Skyline, our sister company down in Florida, on the design for this ride, and we believe it to be a very, very different attraction in that it is our first attraction to not only have a lot of Titan track, but to have a spiral lift hill consisting entirely of our new Titan track. And this was all possible due to the fact that our Titan track allows for tighter turns and clearances and such. That being said, on the Titan track itself, for drive system, it uses a very unique drive system. It uses booster wheels, and because of the height of 74 feet over the previous MBZ Zinger, which I believe was 57 feet tall, it's going to have over 100 booster wheels, which is going to take a lot of adjusting, for sure. And we're also currently working with Dollywood to repair Thunderhead. It'll be their last repair, and we're installing new track to ledger connections, which are the weldments that we create to connect the track to the ledgers for the ride, as well as adding IPE to the track, also known as Ipe. For those of you who don't know, Ipe is a type of Brazilian lumber, which we like to use on a lot of our wooden coaster projects. So this is a concept image of the Zambezi Zinger lift hill that's our partners at Skyline created. This is currently seen, I believe there's already a POV animation out of the ride, but this is one of the preliminary concepts that we came up with between us and Skyline for the ride. For our international projects, there's a lot I cannot talk about, but that being said, we did recently just finish up work for this year with Efteling on Joris and the Draak, their GCI wooden racing coaster. We retracked some of the ride and we installed Titan track on both sides of the ride. And in Japan, we have a ride, not a new ride opening this year, but we have a ride that we're going to be giving new trains to. We're going to undergo some track repair, some control system, and other mechanical work on that ride. I can't mention the ride at this time. I've been told not to mention it, but that being said, it should be pretty wild. These Infinity Flyer trains are a step above our Millennium Flyer trains in a lot of ways. For one, they're capable of tighter turns, crests, and valleys. And they're also, they're designed to be extremely modular, meaning that we can configure these trains pretty easily to adapt to launches, various lift chain geometry, and other brake and launch systems. And a very cool part, at least in my opinion, is that we can retrofit these trains onto any existing GCI coaster and other manufacturers' wooden coasters as well. One thing that makes our Infinity Flyer trains very cool is the fact that they can accommodate riders as low as 40 inches, and we're able to do that because of the contouring of the seats. So instead of having a more of a overmolded bench type seat like on the Millennium Flyer trains, on the Infinity Flyer trains, we have an overmolded bucket-esque seat. So that allows us to accommodate a lot smaller riders, which we find very cool. And it is a Class 5 restraint system, so they are capable of inversions with our new Titan track system. So we're excited to see that in the future.
Good morning, everybody. I know I'm between you and lunch, so we'll move pretty quickly. I've got some videos to show you, and as we go, if you got a question, just for sense of time, you can throw out a question while I'm going through the presentation, and that way we don't have to hold for questions at the end. Because you've fallen in love with the park and you like things like our summer festival or Flower and Food or Smoky Mountain Christmas or Great Pumpkin Luminites, and you voted for those things. And we really appreciate you doing that and would appreciate you to continue to do that as we go forward. But we try to continue to reinvent ourselves, and we continue to try to add things. Between 2021 and 2022, we added another 1 million lights to Christmas. So, I mean, it's just about continuing to get better. So what's coming up? Well, how about Big Bear Mountain? So, So we did, we unveiled, this is the lead coach for this Vekoma family coaster at IAAPA. The magnets that Mike talked about earlier are part of the graphics package that are on the actual ride. So that magnet is actually a sticker that's on the back of the ride, but really, really high detail. I would argue with the amount of work that Vekoma does with Disney, it's very close to Disney level theming on the train, and it's going to be a great ride attraction. I think most of you have seen some of the videos and the information that we've sent through. 2 tunnels in this ride. One of them takes you behind a waterfall, and this is really all about searching for this mythical big bear in the Great Smoky Mountains that has been seen in and around Wildwood Grove. This is a big ride. I mean, it is a big ride. It entirely wraps around Wildwood Grove. And you can see it's a beautiful UT orange. And you can see just kind of looking back toward through the plaza. You're gonna get an opportunity to walk under it. If you come to Con this year, most of the headquarters for Con is going to be on the back side of Big Bear, so you'll have an opportunity to see some things up close and personal for that. But it's really a beautiful ride. Not long ago, placed the last piece of track, as you see going in here, and there's a lot of work going on right now because it's a 3-launch coaster. So between supply chain things and getting everything here that we need for the launch systems and the number of electricians we have that are working on those LEM motors, it's a pretty busy place up there, and we've had 31 days of rain, so it's been pretty interesting. But most of you probably saw this placement on social media, but it was pretty thrilling for us. So this is what the ride looks like, total layout in perspective on the backside of Wildwood Grove. So you see, let's see if I can get the thing to work. Dragon Flyer is right here. Thunderhead that is getting the Ipe treatment is right here. This is Wild Eagle, that's Mystery Mine, and that's Dropline. So really, really nice in here, and this is the Wildwood Tree. And for those of you that have been in the summertime, fireworks and drones are kind of this way, back into the audience area where you are. But it's a gorgeous ride, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it.
All right, at the end of our second set of presentations, I got called for a door prize, and I got a Talon banner. This is the one thing that I wanted out of there, and I'm super excited I was able to get it. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but that is so cool. All right, so we have a little bit more of a break. We are back outside, and we are heading to lunch. We got the first lunch, so we're heading over there because I am very hungry. But then I think after, let's see, what is after lunch? We have a presentation by Six Flags Fiesta Texas, Sesame Place, Dutch Wonderland, Knoebels, and then the PTC Philadelphia Toboggan Company, rounding out all of our remaining presentations today. But lunch first, and then we're gonna go back and check on our bids for the silent auction. Alrighty, we're back from lunch. Let's see if I'm still winning. I'm losing there, and I'm losing there. Dang. We'll see. We'll see what I think. We'll see if I'm gonna up my bid. Well, I made one more bid on the Wildcat track. Hopefully I win that. We'll see. But I mean, even if I don't, that Talon poster is enough for me to be okay with what I got today. But we have probably another couple minutes until we kick back off to the second half of the event, and there are a few Knoebels things that I'm interested in seeing them do a live auction for, that I'm expecting them to do a live auction for. There's 2 old Knoebels signs over there with Cosmo on them that I would definitely be interested in bidding on because, you know, it's Cosmo.
Mr. JJ Jeff Felico from Six Flags Fiesta, Texas.
Good afternoon. How is everyone? Been filled up on lunch, ready for some fun? Let's hear one more huge round of applause for our great host from Hershey. Outstanding. Thank you, sir. It's been a great day at the sweetest place on earth with some of the sweetest people on earth. In the last 10 years, we've had 17 new rides and attractions, 5 new coasters, including 4 brand new prototypes at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. The fun all started off in 2014 with our water park expansion with Bahama Blaster and our new expanded wave pool area. Going into 2015 was my first year. Batman the Ride, the world's first 4D free fly coaster prototype ride at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. 2016 saw not 1, 2, but 3 brand new attractions with the triple threat of thrills filling the boardwalk with fun and more fun. 2017, back in the water park, Thunder Rapids, our incredible water coaster. 2018, the world's first single rail coaster, Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster. How many Wonder Woman fans out there do we have? Excellent, spectacular ride, and there are some more new additions coming to Wonder Woman this year we'll talk about, which will make it even more exciting. 2019, Pirates of the Deep Sea, spectacular dark ride, really the perfect addition to the dark ride experience at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, something we hadn't done in a very long time, so it was nice to see us go back into the world of dark rides and produce the majority of this ride in-house with local talent and resources. So that was something very unique to Six Flags, and we got very creative with it, but if you've been on Pirates of the Deep Sea, it is a very cool ride. 2019, Joker Carnival of Chaos. Thrills, almost 10 stories in the air at its peak. Going into 2020, Daredevil Dive, Flying Machines. Another incredible attraction, incredible theming, really bringing some new life to our Crack Axle Canyon area where we added Cliffhanger this past year, but we're not done there. There's more to come. There's always more to come. That's really going to be the theme through all of this. 2021, we tackled Poltergeist, painted the track, complete station refresh, really incredible thematic elements and storytelling in the queue line, in the station, really bringing new life to a classic attraction that our guests love. And then 2022, how many people know about Blimpie? Does anyone here know what happened to Blimpie? Well, neither do we. Blimpie was a part of our announcement, and then Blimpie disappeared into the universe and has never been seen since. So, no joke. And there's a part of me that thinks our entertainment team just cut it loose because they weren't really happy to have it in the beginning, and then all of a sudden it just floated away one night. So Blimpie is gone forever. So if you see Blimpie, please let us know. Going into 2023, the fun does not stop. We have park enhancements to rides, new attractions, a whole barrage of new things just for this year. And this is only the stuff that I can tell you about. And the majority of these things, keep in mind, will happen between now and July. So there's a whole lot jam-packed into what is essentially the first, not even 7 months of the year at this point. So just a quick look by the numbers, you're gonna see 40 park benches, 75 rocking chairs, over 100 loungers in the water park, umbrellas, tables, trash cans, and that's just this year. That doesn't account for anything we've done in years past with more shade, more flowers. And let's be honest, Six Flags Fiesta, Texas was already a pretty beautiful park to begin with. So this is only gonna make a great experience even better. Oh, our beloved Spasberg clock. So this is not necessarily a new addition to the park, but it becomes necessary to make it new when a maintenance truck backs over the old one. So luckily, our guests loved it enough, and it's an iconic part of Spasberg that we ordered the brand new clock. We installed a beautiful planter around it, so it's a little more durable, place for guests to sit when the park's open. But the thing that amuses me most about this clock, is there anyone in here that can't tell me what time it is? Raise your hand if you don't know what time it is. So you can all read an analog clock, because that seems to be the biggest challenge for our younger guests. So much so that one of our admission supervisors called me vintage for wearing an actual wristwatch. So nothing like that to make you feel old. Looking at the boardwalk, we have a brand new shade structure, compliments of our friends from Coca-Cola, and we have a bigger partnership with them than ever this year, and you're gonna hear more about them in a moment. Also, one thing we're very, very proud of is finally getting Miss Kitty back on the rails. Not a whole lot of details to talk about on this yet because it's still all coming together, but we're getting into the e-gaming world with a e-sports venue. It's actually gonna be right below the VIP lounge. So we have a huge partner coming in to help us with this. And if you are into anything esports, This will be a state-of-the-art facility with the newest, most modern equipment and amenities. So much so that this space alone where you're gaming can also be simulcast to our Zaragoza theater. So we can have folks sitting in a theater watching game competitions in addition to the e-gaming space itself. So stay tuned for all the details on this because it's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen, especially at an amusement park. Bugs Whitewater Rapids, finally getting the love and TLC that we've all been looking forward to. Clap for that, that's cool. Or not, it's your choice. So what makes this really cool is our team, our entertainment team is fantastic. We're gonna show some of the things they do for Fright Fest and Holiday in the Park, but a lot of the very cool props and decor you see, many people don't know that that's actually made by our entertainment team. They're incredibly skilled, very creative, and they took all these beloved characters and really brought them back to new life. So the entire ride is getting rehabbed from the queue line to the ride experience itself to all the props. The dragon's gonna squirt water again. They're gonna have the fog effects, the sound effects. It really is going to be like a brand new ride for 2023, actually. Whitewater Bay is becoming Hurricane Harbor San Antonio. I know, isn't that exciting? It's probably the most exciting thing I have to mention all day. Moving on. It's also getting a new collection of kids rides in our water park area. How many people have been to our water park? Raise your hand. Did any of you go to our kids area? Probably not, because it was way up the stairs of death. On like a 1,000-degree day, you gotta go up, I don't know, 800, 900 stairs, whatever it is, all the way to the kids area. So we're rethinking all of that and adding not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 6, what is technically 6 new kids attractions up there. Even though it says 7, I think we're technically counting these 2 as 1 since they race, but however you want to define it, a whole bunch of fun for the kids coming to Hurricane Harbor San Antonio. There's even more for the little kids and the entire family. We're taking our kids area and rebranding it to Thrill Seeker Park, which is going to revitalize that entire area, give it a fresh new look with a few new attractions, but also refreshing everything that currently exists there. We have this play structure in the center, which will be getting a complete makeover. Rambling Road was one of the kids' attractions that was rethemed and redone this past year. Of course, we have Streamliner Coaster, which is already looking brand new and awesome, and also included in some of our ERT for ACE events already. So if you don't have that coaster credit, it's an easy way to grab it. Bucking Bronco is our kids' little drop tower, getting a new theme, new name, new look. Sky Searcher, these used to be little, like little pieces of fruit. Like one was a strawberry, one was, I don't know, a grape or something else. But now it's actually gonna make more sense. They're gonna be little parachutes. So the entire theme of Thrill Seeker Park and kind of the adventure modes of travel motif, if you will, filling it all in with even stunt pilots, which we've done this ride, believe it or not, for ACRT once, and I rode this with several of you folks, and it was a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be. It was actually pretty cool to include it for an ERT, something different. New restrooms, new food stands, new amenities throughout the entire area. And that's just that side of the kids area. We gotta go to the other side now where there is more fun under construction. Our bumper cars, unfortunately, are no more. They're going, nearly gone, and these things happen in no time. Just put these things anywhere. But what are we making space for?
The sketty.
Well, that's only what we're gonna call it for a couple more weeks because big news is on the horizon. But we are excited to introduce the world's first single-rail family racing coaster. But you can see that the track itself features the Aurora lighting package. So those are basically LED panels on the top and sides of the track that will illuminate it in a variety of pre-programmed patterns or themes. We could even get to the point, hypothetically, down the line where you're saying, "Happy birthday, Cliff!" and it's riding in front of you on the course of the ride for a nominal fee, of course, but price is TBD. But so this is on one side of our kids area, and all those other new refreshes and attractions we talked about are on the other. So as far as family attractions go, that really is one of our main focuses this year, something for the adults, the younger thrill seekers, everything in the middle, so that families can enjoy this ride together thanks to our friends from Skyline Attractions. So quick look at some of the thriller pieces to it, 36-inch minimum height requirement, but the seats themselves are also generous enough to not only accommodate those smaller riders, but also be generous for adults too, so it's not like you're stuck in a little tin can just waiting for the end of a ride. It's actually be a comfortable ride experience for kids and adults alike. Over 1,000 feet, or excuse me, 1,100 feet of combined track length, and 12 crossovers. So that's really where you get the Paschetti theory with it crossing over each other 12 times as it's actually racing. And I'm happy to say we only plan on operating it with both sides racing, so it will always be a racing coaster. Which, 2 credits. 2 independent tracks, you got right boat to get 2 credits.
All right, our last little break before our final 3 presenters. That last presentation with Fiesta Texas ended amazingly. He actually handed out a bunch of free tickets, so content for Fiesta Texas eminent this year, 100% now, because, come on, I mean, the man was too nice to hand out free tickets. I gotta use them. And he also gave us a bunch of flash passes as well for that, so super excited to go check out Fiesta Texas this year.
And that's going to be Brian, Dick, and Rick Knoebels from Knoebels Amusement Resort.
How's everybody doing? Isn't this great?
Here at Knoebels South. We always have a joke with Hersheypark, all the rumors of Hershey buying Knoebels. So we said, no, we bought Hershey. So we renamed it Knoebels South, of course. When our friends at Hersheypark bring that up, no, it's Hershey North. We are Hershey North, but no.
We got a new calendar. This has already been released on our website and social media, but you can see there's a little bit different this year than the last couple of years.
Yeah. Do you notice the blue color on there?
But there it is. We're going to be open till 9 on Friday and Saturday nights. Finally. We're still not at 10 o'clock yet. We're getting closer.
It's everyone has pre-pandemic expectations, and we just can't get there. We can't get back to that 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. yet, but little by little, we're getting more rides open, more games, more food stands, getting more staff, campgrounds back to full capacity. Company picnics are calling. So, and when is Knoebels prettiest? Nighttime.
So there's our Hollow Fun calendar. We're open, it's 4 full weekends. So we have all the weekends in October, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's more or less the same calendar we had before. We have to share. Who made it to Hollow Fun this past year, by the way? Oh, quite a few. Thank you. Joy Through the Grove. How was that? Anybody go to Joy Through the Grove this year? It's great. And
Not enough.
Maybe Mike is working on a little thing here to get everybody there from ACE.
Of course, you're following us along on social media. You're learning about what we're doing to Twister. Basically, putting it back after 23 years of it running. Maybe some of that helix changed a little bit. So we are putting it back.
Putting it back as John Fetterman initially designed.
Yeah. We're excited.
Yeah.
Some free engineering little tests are showing we're going to take a few seconds off the ride, so it'll be a little bit faster. So for those of you that like that thrill ride, there you go.
But by the way, the last one, we're using Amuse Rides out of Idaho, if anybody's interested. But this one on the Phoenix is all in-house.
Yep. It's just simply maintaining. Everybody says, coasters. It's a breathing. It's alive, and you got to stay on top of it. So, 4 consecutive years, Phoenix won Best Wooden Coaster.
Thank you very much.
So we're putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, so that continues. One of the little off-season projects we're trying to get done is when you wait in line at Flying Turns, all the little pictures that tell the story. Many of you have seen that. We want to do the same thing at Phoenix. so many people don't know. I mean, this room does, but so many don't know it. Phoenix was relocated, and we want to tell that story and preserving that history. And we are traditionalists, and so look for that.
Out of curiosity, how many people here actually think of Byron Curve as a roller coaster? A couple. I know it looks like a duck. It quacks like a duck, but.
So many of you already have seen the No Coaster presentation, or when you came to Knoebels last year and Brady Petrovich spoke about the ride and the entire project. So some of you know the story. We're just going to go through some of the photos where we're at right now. Oh, this is
that last one, by the way,
news.
was in Montreal.
Yeah. So the concrete pad. If you go, if you're in here in Chocolate Town, you make the hour trip to Knoebels. Most of the frame is there, and the track is all but assembled. So it's, let me continue to go here.
That's what it was about at the time of No Coaster. By the way, the control building on the left, Dick had a big hand in designing. And there it is. This was taken, Thursday?
10 days ago, maybe.
Okay. We only have one car painted so far, so, don't.
Which I don't think is even going to be that color. we're tinkering. We're,
All right. Don't take pictures.
Why is that in there? So the unique thing about Knoebels, which everyone loves, is okay, you can't go to another park and walk around in the off season. You come to an event like this and you can see the pictures of some of the behind the scenes. Well, that means we can't hide anything unless we put it in Rick's garage. And he said no. So we were proactive. Yes. So a few years ago when Kennywood was selling, the rumors that they were going to sell their flying coaster, I was very, very interested, and we as a family were interested in the ride. We were going to do a little shout out to Kennywood for maintaining it all of those years, and then Jim Shea from Premier Rides, came in, and kudos to he and his entire team, and the kangaroo lives. So. But it's so many people's favorite ride. So,
Well, they had a live auction for a couple of Knoebels stuff, and I tried to win a roller coaster maintenance tour of Knoebels, including like morning test rides on both coasters, or on all the coasters. Unfortunately, I got outbid. I was close. The bid right above me won at $300. Unfortunately, that's just too much for me, man. But that is a really cool experience, and I'm excited for the person who gets to do that.
Okay, well, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there, so just like to thank everybody again. Once again, I get invited to East Coaster.
Projects for 2023.
Now, this is where you come in as a group participation. Tell us what you read. Go ahead, Yee. That was a surprise, and we helped them out. And one train, we got back to them, so they had it for the summer. The second one, they said, just hold off until we can make sure we need a second train. So the second train's done, is ready to ship out next week. Go. Come on, let's go, get into it.
It's too many words. The Great American Scream Machine.
All right, so they came back for winter overhaul. Next. Oh, you are really getting there. Next.
Six Flags America.
Ooh, yes, enthusiasm.
Worlds of Fun, Timber.
Go ahead, keep going.
Dorney Park, Thunder Hawk.
Phillips coaster.
Next.
Deer Point, Blue Street.
Oh, God, you guys are getting it now. Shame we're going to have to go home in 10 minutes now.
Kennywood, Racer.
Yeah, the green one specifically.
Fun Times Splashdown.
That one had an echo.
That guy in the brown back there, you were off. I could tell.
Adventureland, The Outlaw. Idlewild, Roller Coaster.
And East Coasters has come to an end, and the Wildcat piece is ours. Look at that, man. That is awesome. An old piece.
Alex Mosley.
That is awesome.
Here, please see us in
Super
the
excited to
back.
have this, and it comes with a certificate of authenticity. Came straight off of the old coaster when it was being demolished. And just like that, we are done here at East Coasters. Went a little bit later than I was expecting, so I still have a long drive back home after this, but I mean, I had a great time at my first ever ACE event. I mean, it was so cool hearing all of the new projects that are being worked on this year by different coaster manufacturers and different parks. Being able to talk to Deno from Deno's Wonder Wheel was awesome. He was so cool. He was just hilarious to talk to and everything. But I think my highlight of the day is just hearing about unannounced projects. I mean, honestly, those things were cool, and I can't really mention them just because we were told not to, but there were a lot of cool things that were talked about today. And Wildcats Revenge is definitely one of the ones that I'm excited for this year. And those free tickets to Fiesta, Texas, like I said, Texas content's coming this summer. I can tell you this right now. But if you guys enjoyed this very long video, please make sure you drop a like and also comment down below, out of all the things that I showed off today, what was the coolest thing that you saw? I'd like to know. But as always, I'm Michael from Hollow Thrills, giving you the all clear, and all clear means you're out of here. See you guys next time.